of tips for financial professionals. And today I have a very special guest, a friend of mine, a colleague, and we also partner in business in our agencies. Mr. Dror, David. Dror, how are you, brother? Thank you for being here.
Good, man. It's a pleasure. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm better now that you are here with me. So, Dror, you're a financial professional. I can see you have your designation of CLU and CHS.
Correct.
So I'm just gonna go and shoot straight ahead for what people have been asking me to ask you. So, things are crazy in North America right now. So as a financial professional, what do you recommend to your Canadian clients? Number one recommendation.
Yeah, great question. And thanks again for having me. It's an honor. Biggest thing right now that a lot of people are talking about is the markets. What do I do? Should I wait until the crash? Should I get in right now? Should I not get in at all? And the biggest thing I tell people is it all depends on your goals.
Of course.
If you have a 1 to 2 year goal, don't get into the market. If you have at least 3 to 5 years or more, get into the market because the market is always going to recover. Number one. Number two, meet with a proper financial professional like myself or yourself. Put a proper financial plan together that consists of proper protection, proper debt consolidation or debt management, and proper investments for short-term and long-term goals.
Thank you very much. That is great financial advice. And the other one is, what if you have a client who, his dreams or her dreams are not realistic to achieve with the amount of income that they have right now? Because you cannot perform miracles.
Yep, you're right. I like to think that I'm a magician, but I'm really not. I don't have any tricks up my sleeve. There's two things I say, Hernan. I'm very upfront with my clients. So all my clients know that I talk to them like I'm their brother. I talk to them very straight up, as I'm sure you do as well, right?
Yes.
And if they tell me that they have, a bit of an unattainable goal, I just say straight up, listen, I don't think that's really attainable. However, then I come back with the second option, which is
Yes.
probably the greatest option in the world, is if they want or need to make a little bit more income, I
Yes.
say, listen, come into business with me. I'll show you how I've built my business, how I help people, and how you can make a really, really good, solid side income in addition to your full-time job. And Hernan, what happens most of the time
Mhm.
is that they actually end up leaving their full-time job because they can make so much more money with us in our Experior model. It's quite fantastic.
That's awesome. And especially with you as a mentor, of course, they can do that,
Yeah,
because it's very, very important to have the right mentor in any industry, but especially financial services, someone
100%.
with experience that is also qualified as well, so you have all those qualifications, and that's great.
Yeah.
Um,
And it will also say that it's okay to have more than one mentor. I
yeah,
have multiple mentors, right? It could be someone in the business, it could be someone outside of the business, in financial services, that is not involved with us. It could be several different people, and I'm very thankful that I have those types of people in my life that, lead and guide me in the right direction.
of course, of course. But when we are talking specific financial services and recommendations, what
Yeah.
I recommend to everyone that are listening to us is to choose um, those mentors, okay, who have experience, or if they are part, if they are also not that experienced, but they are part of a team,
Yeah.
that is very important to have direct access
Yeah.
to those mentors inside, whatever organization you are with,
Yeah.
because this is transmitting live to all different social media platforms right now, Dror. And
Yeah.
so I also want to thank all our viewers for always watching. Okay. And it doesn't matter if you are or not with the same MGA or IMO. Okay. We are going to have always very good, valuable information for you. and we wish you and your clients to have a lot of success, especially when there are turbulent times. So excellent. Or another thing that I want to ask you, because I know you now for almost 5 years since I entered Experior.
Mm.
And I had the pleasure of seeing you a few times in person, through conventions and all that. And I can see in the scoreboard that you're always growing your business, okay, which is great.
Yeah.
And your business consists, of course, for those who do not know about Experior, it consists on personal production by helping clients and
Right.
also by team building. And I see that you're growing in both. So can you tell me from the last 2 years, what is the increase both in your volume of personal production and also your team size?
So in the last couple of years, 2 years specifically, the volume of business that I've written is probably more than tripled.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and as it that is purely as a result of building a team as well.
Oh, that's
Because
nice.
one of the things that we do here is that, we bring people in, we teach them, how to do the business and all that stuff. And as a result, our team production goes up.
Of course.
I'm always of the mindset that if you are going to be the leader of the team, you must always lead from the front. You must
Mm-hmm.
always be towing the team line, not pushing from behind. And so if I'm going to tell people, my agents specifically, that they need to go and produce and they need to go and help clients, especially in these tumultuous times, I need to lead by example,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just like, you're a parent, Hernan, you have kids, right? It's not do as I say, not as I do. It's do as I say and do as I do, right?
That's
So
correct.
if I'm going to tell my people to go and produce, I need to do it myself so that they're not thinking like, well, why am I producing and Dror's just sitting back and, enjoying the override.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. Number two, one of the biggest reasons why I got involved in the industry, Hernan, is because I
Mm-hmm.
really genuinely love helping people. A lot of people don't know my story, but when my family and I immigrated here, my parents were taken advantage of. They were ripped off and taken advantage of when they tried to do good for themselves and for myself. And that really left a scar on me. And I pride myself and I teach my team to always do good by clients, always 100%. And
Of
so
course.
one of the biggest reasons why we continue to get more and more clients because people trust us because they know that we are not going to rip them off. We are not going to take advantage of them, right?
Of
Um,
course.
which makes us a very referable team. And so that's why we keep getting a lot of referral business. Whereas a lot of advisors, Hernan, and you probably know better than I do, a lot of advisors for their whole life have to constantly hunt for new business.
That's
They
correct.
constantly need to network and they constantly need to look for the next best client. We're very blessed in my organization and in yours as well that we do such a good job for clients that people know that they can refer their loved ones, or their friends or their family to us because they're going to probably be taken care of.
Of course, and that applies in every single industry. For those of you that are not in financial services, when you are in business, your clients are always first. And
Yeah.
so if you look after your clients' needs, you will never have a shortage of clients. So that's great, Dror. And
Yeah.
so for your plans for the future, both. Well, let me ask the question again. I know that you right now are doing a very nice balance of personal production and team building. Okay. And as an agency owner, you decide how you do that, and every agent actually decides how they do it.
Right.
But as you imagine and envision, your team growing to hundreds or even thousands, okay? And then I'll
Tens
let
of
you know,
thousands. Tens of thousands.
tens of thousands, yes. And later I'll let you know how I see things from my point of view as well, okay? Because sometimes I would love to still be writing, but getting close to 700 right now agents, I am very, very busy. All my time goes into helping them write business and helping them recruit and write good business, right? So how do you envision your transition, okay, as you reach, 500 and 1,000 agents? I know that's not the limit, but just to put something in target,
Yeah.
you know, will you be transitioning more, of course, to coaching in general? And what are you going to be doing with your actual clients?
Yeah. Good question. A lot of people ask me that. Um, One thing I will say is I will never lose the love to produce. I love
Yes.
producing because I just love helping people. I really
Hmm.
do. It's one of the things that brings me joy in
Yeah,
life. Honestly,
that's
I
good.
love helping people, and when people, hug me and say thank you so much for taking care of my family, that's the biggest joy.
Right.
In saying that, you and I, we're just one man, right?
That's
And
correct.
only so many clients that we will be able to help. So the
Yes.
goal, Hernan, essentially is to, when I do reach that point, which is not for a while, I'm still young, right?
Yeah.
So it's not
Yeah,
for a
you're
while.
young.
But when I do reach that point, the goal is to have um, built enough leaders and to continue to recruit and build leaders inside our organization so that they can go on and help other agents become leaders as well.
Hmm.
Basically, to multiply the knowledge that I have right now. And whether
Yes.
that's, 500 this year, 1,000 by next year, 10,000 by the year after that, that's essentially my goal is to run massive events where I have all my leaders that I've recruited and built up and teaching them the same system. That's essentially my goal. But again, never forgetting about production because that's very, very important.
That it is very important. But will you be changing the percentage of your production activity versus training, or are you gonna just keep it the same for now and then just, clone yourself? I'm just curious about what you're gonna say.
You
I'm
know,
not trying to put you in the spot. I'm just
yeah,
saying, because the moment that you grow to that level, normally, okay, normally,
right,
what happens, okay? But we can only control our actions, of course,
right,
not the outcome,
right.
you know, is that if you continue, I don't know, right now, what are you doing? 50-50 of your time is production and 50 is
Recruiting?
team.
Yeah,
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 I'm training because, it's not only recruiting. You
that's
got to
right.
recruit, train, teach others how to recruit and train.
That's
And
right.
if you're going to be looking after clients, so I'm just curious, and we're not going to edit this recording for anyone. I wanted to be very, you
Yeah.
know,
It's a
transparent.
it's a good question. Like I said, I'm 38 years young,
Yeah,
and right now, I'm still full of piss and vinegar, and I still
yeah.
love producing. Ask me in maybe 20 years, and
No,
I
but
might.
right now, what are you doing? 50-50 recruiting and 50-50 training. I just want to know the
Right.
percentage
That's
of your
right.
activity.
You
And
got it.
that's good. So if you continue that way, you know, you for sure can grow really big,
Yes.
okay, and continue doing it. If that's your plan, and I take my hat off to you for that, okay? For me, my love for, you know, of course, is helping clients. I personally believe I help more indirectly
Right.
right now that I gave up on writing my own policies.
Right.
But I broke records in other companies in the past when I was younger as a personal producer. And when I came to experience my own vision, okay, it's different for everyone, and we are all in different stages of life, okay? But I have to control myself from writing, Dror, because the moment that I start writing, I never stop,
Right.
okay?
Right.
And then I might, not be putting so much attention to the team that right now is snowballing like crazy, and I
Right.
gotta be available to everyone. So all I'm saying is, sometimes be careful what you wish for because it might come true. And the
Right.
second one that we know as well is we cannot have everything in life at one time, one single time, right?
Well,
So
that's why I always wish for good things, right?
yeah,
So when
it
it
is.
happens,
Yeah,
it's
it
gonna
will
be good.
happen. but I was just curious, so just on the psychology of different top performers, because you're a top performer, so I want to pick on your brain. That's the
Yeah,
only reason. There is
yeah,
no right or wrong way, you know. You can decide to do it the way Dror is doing it, which is going great,
yeah.
or you can decide to do it the way that I'm doing it, which I also believe is working incredible, because the end result is families being helped,
Well,
and that's great.
and Hernan, you know what's great about our model at
Yeah,
Experian? You can do both.
you
You
can if
can
you
be a
decide to do
producer
both.
and make really, really good money and get, to the top tiers
Yeah, of
of the
course.
model, or you can be a builder like you are, right? You can do both. That's the great thing about Experian. Whereas, not to badmouth other companies, it's
Yeah, of
just
course.
reality is things, and every company has its, strengths and weaknesses, as does
Yeah,
Experian.
of course.
But other companies, there is a lot of emphasis on, only recruiting or
Yes.
only production. But
Yeah,
I think that, we have a perfect combination, a perfect marriage of being able to be a great producer, make great money, but being able to be a recruiter and a builder as well and
of
make really good
course.
that way. I've
Yeah,
done a lot of research in the industry, as I'm sure you have, and I have not found any combination that even gets remotely close to what Experian Financial Group can do. Not even remotely close. And I'm a very open-minded person, and I
yeah.
meet with people and I'm like, hey, show me. I have not found anything that even comes remotely close to Experian.
Oh, you're 100% right. The flexibility, the possibilities are endless on how you want to do it,
Yeah.
and for sure, I haven't seen it. I'm sure someone is going to come up with something, but even at that moment, and hopefully, because competition is good for everyone, okay? And we want to see the benefit of many agents, no matter with which
Yeah.
company they go to.
Yeah.
But, we're very advanced in many things, and we have proven that the system works that way. So, if you are considering companies, I would always advise to go with the ones with a proven system. I'm
Right.
not saying don't try new things. All I'm saying is that the startup, years of a company have a lot of risk, and there is not a lot of, um, back office or technology built in yet in most companies, because you gotta be able to develop that through time. So
Right.
in Experior, everyone is at the sweet spot right now
Right.
because we've been proven, right? And so that's incredible. And what I also want to share, Dror, people ask me every day when they join the team, and I'm very grateful that
Mm.
to all the icebreakers, because we are growing in autopilot right now. That's beautiful, and
Yeah.
I wish that each and every single one of you that are in Experior listening to this, experience the autopilot growth. Okay, it takes a while, but once it's rolling, it's beautiful. But when people call me and ask me, especially when people that are new to the industry call me and ask me, what should I do? What, my efforts recruiting or, producing. And normally this applies to most people. And even those in the industry that don't have experience or they have not brought big teams over, I let them know, put most of your effort on your personal production, because obviously it's the one that is going to bring you an income.
That's
We
right.
already clarified that we are doing the best for clients. So right now, my advice is on the side of building a team. Okay.
Right.
And
Right.
I said, okay, you have to make an income for yourself and your family. So it's on your personal production. But if
Right.
you have plans to build teams, if you already decided that, even though they can just continue going as a personal producer,
Yeah.
but I said you should start moving it in quarters. At the beginning, put 100% of your time into production, or if you want to start building at the same time, 75% into production, focus energy and actions, okay, that are constant, and 25 in recruiting.
Right.
And slowly move it to 50-50, the way you're doing it.
Right.
But if they, and just my point of view for those who say they want to build big teams, then move it to 75, um, recruiting and training, and 25 production,
Right.
and stay like that all your life if you like to still look after clients.
Right.
But if you want to do it the way that I personally decide to do it and move all the way to 100%, but do it gradually. Otherwise, it could be risky,
Yeah.
and you want to make sure that you do it like that, I think, in general. But if you have questions, you can contact Dror. What is your phone number, Dror?
Yeah, good question. So my phone number is 647-295-7553. If you guys want to follow me on social media, my Instagram handle is DD Financial Planner. And my name, Dror David, on LinkedIn and Facebook. I do have TikTok as well. Just search up my name. I don't think anybody has ever met another Dror, so it's pretty unique, DROR. But Hernan, I always love to share valuable information.
Yeah,
You've seen my videos and my reels.
yeah,
It's really just about spreading awareness because there's a lot of misinformation, there's a lot of lack of education as well. And the problem is people try to get educated, but then they go down kind of a rabbit hole and then they become miseducated and then we got to
of
go
course.
back, we got to fix it. So, I share very valuable information. You and I, Hernan, we don't charge our clients anything.
Yeah,
I always say to my clients, our only fee for service is referrals and recommendations. So we're not going to charge you, 100, 1,000, 10,000. No, nothing.
yeah.
We get paid when you do business with us, which is a great thing. And so it's mutually beneficial. But please, follow me and follow Hernan. We're always sharing valuable information, whether it's about, joining the industry, which there's a huge need for, or, as a client, there's a lot of valuable information for sure.
That's correct. And for those of you who want to contact Dror, if you didn't catch his number, it's going to be somewhere in the description of the video. Okay. And also, you can just reach me directly and I'll put you in touch with Dror. If you are watching this video replay in my social media as well, or even in Dror's, and you contact Dror, let him know that you saw him in my video, okay? Because that's how we do things here.
Yeah.
And you can always follow me in all social media. You're gonna see a link above or below this video. I'm very, very easy to follow in all social media as well. You'll have it. A little banner will come up around here. So, Dror, I thank you for your time, and it's gonna be a pleasure to have you another time again.
Yeah,
For
absolutely.
all of you watching, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, that way you can be up to date with more tips for financial professionals. And to clarify why there are two flags here is because our opportunity is international. Canada, the USA, and Puerto Rico. So we, the Icebreakers team of champions, which is the fastest growing trilingual team in Experior Financial Group, we have modern training in English, Spanish, and French. So we will see you next time. And thank you very much for being here, Dror. And thank you very much for everyone watching this video. See you next time.
Certified Badass. For more awesome content, like and subscribe now.
We are the Icebreakers team. Our team writes more business per licensed agent than any other Experior Financial Group team in both the US and Canada. We are also the fastest growing team within Experior Financial Group in both the USA and Canada. We have full modern training in English, Spanish, and French. For more information on how to power up your life insurance business through joining the Icebreakers team of champions, contact the person that sent you this video or scan the QR code.